Welcome to the Sports Business Classroom Audio Experience. I'm Alex Cocoros, and in this series, we're diving into the journeys of professionals who are making an impact in the sports industry. From executives to innovators, each guest will share their story, the lessons they've learned, and the strategies that help them succeed. This isn't just about the business of basketball. It's about life, sports, and the mindset it takes to thrive in a competitive world. Each conversation will provide insights and actionable advice you can use to take your own career to the next level. Whether you're looking to break into the industry or sharpen your skills, this series is here to help you achieve your goals. Let's jump in and learn from the best. Welcome back to another episode of the SBC Audio Experience with Joakim Noah. A two-time national champion with the University of Florida, a two-time NBA All-Star, and the 2014 Defensive Player of the Year, is a towering figure in basketball history. Known for his relentless energy, defensive prowess, and fiery passion, Noah became a cornerstone of the Chicago Bulls after being drafted in 2007, leading the team with his hard-on-sleeve approach. His authenticity and insights, shaped by a life spanning 3 continents, continue to inspire fans and players alike while championing the unifying power of basketball. Thank you for tuning in to the Sports Business Classroom Audio Experience. Joining us today is a true basketball icon, a global ambassador of the game. He's also a 2-time NCAA Champion, 2-time NBA All-Star, as well as the 2014 Defensive Player of the Year, Joakim Noah. How you doing today, Joakim?
How you doing, Alex?
Good. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I know we're doing it at halftime, making it quick, but let's just first start off talking about your week in Paris, being an ambassador for the game, and just how that overall experience has been for you.
Yeah, well, I think for me, the Paris game is very special. It started coming here in '97 when I was 10 years old to watch Michael Jordan play. And it was just so inspiring, for me personally, and then having an opportunity to play for the Chicago Bulls years later. And so I know the importance of this game, and also to have such a great talent in Wembanyama. Just the excitement in the game and in the building right now is crazy, and I feel like he's handling it beautifully.
Yeah, so you said you came into the league in 2007 with the Bulls. How much have you seen the game change from when you came into the league now to now in 2025, and how cool and special is that to see and be a part of it?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a question that everybody's asking right now. The game is a little bit different, a lot more 3-point shooting. It's also the rules have also changed a lot. No defensively, the physicality on the defense has changed a lot. So I think it's not on the players. The talent is unbelievable. 1 through 15, you can already tell, and I actually really enjoy watching the game.
Yeah. How do you think you go about guarding Wemby?
It's definitely a tough task.
Yeah.
But I think the best thing you can do is just be as physical as you can. I think he's definitely, his shooting touch is unbelievable. He's putting the ball on the floor. I'd like to see him, get to the rim a little bit more. Maybe I haven't seen a jump hook yet, so I'm looking, but it's just he's dominating in so many different ways and doing things that we've never seen before. We've never seen somebody at that size with that kind of agility and that kind of skill.
It's so awesome seeing, players across the world really making an impact on the game. Your nationality spans 3 continents. You truly are an international pioneer of the game. Talk to me about, at least for you at first, what interested you in the game of basketball? I know your dad was a tennis player, and why do you think basketball is such a good sport to bring people together and cultures, and bring that togetherness?
I think basketball has always been my heart. I'm born in New York City, so basketball is definitely part of the culture in New York. There's a playground on every street corner. We see playgrounds. There's a street ball culture. Obviously, the New York Knicks. So for me, it was my father used to bring me to the games early on, and I'm a 3rd-generation athlete as well. My grandfather is from Cameroon and was a soccer player, and my father was a French and Cameroonian tennis player. So for me, it was like I was blessed to travel the world, live in New York City, grew up in the French basketball ecosystem as well till I was 12. So I've been traveling and trying to, share my experience and also invest in NBA Africa. I love to see the growth of the game globally, and I'm just happy to be able to help in any way that I can.
Yeah, you talk about helping out now, you know, your post-playing career. Was sports media something that you were always interested in, wanted to, take a chance in?
Uh, actually, that was not at all one of the goals for me. But I just like where this is going. I love the fact that um, people can share their experiences and talk to the players with former players. I think that's what I love about the podcast things, where you can really say how you really feel and share experiences, and talk about those experiences. And I think it's a beautiful thing because there's definitely a mutual respect when you've played on the court.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard like over the years that you're obviously a passionate player. You wore your heart on the sleeve. That you'd be good, meaty personality, and I'm sure you heard that a lot of times. Um,
Appreciate you.
um, so yeah, now you're in your post-playing career. What do you think has been your most rewarding experience post-career, and just seeing, the game grow globally?
I would say the most exciting thing that's happened to me actually happened a couple months ago, the birth of my son. Um, Easy Noah. I'm really excited to be able to be done playing basketball and be able to really spend time and really be a part of that. Um, it's not easy because I'm not sleeping a lot. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot of sleepless nights, and also one of the biggest blessings has also been being able to invest in NBA Africa. I'm able to travel the continent and learn about the basketball ecosystem over there, and being a part of the Pan-African business that really supports um, African people. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I'm just very proud to be able to do that with the NBA.
Sorry to interrupt. Bobby Marks, Sports Business Classroom Lead Instructor here. Are you enjoying this episode of the Sports Business Classroom Audio Experience? Take your knowledge to the next level today with our new in-depth education course, MBA CBA Mastery Version 2. Whether you're inspiring to work in the NBA or just want to level up your skills off the course, this course is for you. Sign up and start learning today at cbamastery.com. That's right, cbamastery.com.
You talked about NBA Africa. Every year there's more and more international players coming into the league, but can that be a continent where we see more and more players come from?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've taken that Africa for granted a little bit. There, but you can't turn your back on what's going on. And I think that this is definitely David Stern's vision was always to globalize the NBA. And I think that this is really happening. You can feel the energy everywhere around the world. Basketball is serious, but when you talk about Cameroon, where some of my roots are, when you have 5 NBA players and one indoor court in the country, yeah, it just shows that we really have to build education, build infrastructure, and build education, and really focus on these markets.
And how intense are these fans in Paris? Because they truly love the game of basketball. I'm sure when you go to Africa too, like it's not that players are people are playing it, but they live and breathe basketball, and that's pretty cool to see, right?
Yeah, I think that, the culture is definitely growing. I mean, France, it's unbelievable to see how much basketball has grown over the years. And I think it started with Tony Parker and the unbelievable job and the unbelievable career that he had. I think people in France really started believing it wasn't just, oh, we have a French player playing in NBA. We have a real Hall of Fame type, dominant type player who I think kids really resonated with. And I think now you're seeing the next generation, and you're seeing Wembanyama, who's potentially he's already one of the faces of the NBA. So I think that there's a lot of excitement around basketball. The development of basketball in France is growing rapidly. They have a great system over here. And that's why you're seeing 2, 3 first-round picks from France every year.
Yeah, keeps growing. You play with some, legendary international players too, Pau, Luol Deng. How great were those guys? And then do you have any experiences with them?
Well, definitely had some experiences with them. I only played with Pau for 1 year, and but Lua, I played with him for a lot longer. And when you hear the stories, South Sudan, coming from South Sudan, being a refugee, living in Egypt, living in London, and then coming to play at Blair Academy. I mean, Lual's story is honestly a movie. And what he was able to do at the Olympics and really put South Sudan on the map and really compete at a high level at the Olympics while building courts and building infrastructure in South Sudan. I'm really proud of my brother. And obviously this is the next step that shows when the investment and the time is done, you're able to play at the highest level and compete against the best teams in the world.
Right. They gave Team USA a run for their money at one point. So that's great to see. And I'm sure you're, when you talk about Pau and all the teams with the Bulls, you're probably excited to be done with those Tibbs practices, right? Those weren't fun.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. Don't be started with and the last one I want to talk about is Tibbs practices. But you can tell, shoot around, they're obviously different. I think when we were with Tibbs at that time, it was his first year coaching. We were definitely doing defensive slides and shoot around. I don't think those things are allowed anymore.
That was the different time. So Tibbs is one of the legendary coaches that you play with. Obviously you started your career at Florida with Coach Donovan. Nowadays it's the one and done. Play 1 year, you're out of the draft. You played 3 years there. You got 2 national championships out of it. How much did that help your growth, not just as a player, but as a person too?
Yeah, I think obviously, those are really special times in my life. I learned a lot. After our second championship, we had 3 potential first-round picks, top 10 picks with Al Horford and Corey Brewer. And it just shows the fact that we came back to school. There was no money, no NIL money, but we decided to come back to school. I think that it's something that I hold dear to my heart because some things are just more valuable than money. And our chemistry was great on the court and off the court. And to be able to win 2 championships is not something that we take for granted. So I'm very proud of those years.
What about going to Gainesville interested you?
Gainesville, I was growing up in New York at the time. I thought there was just good weather, good lady. I loved Coach's style too. Coach Donovan was somebody who was pressing as a big man. You were pressing at the top of the press. You were double teaming a couple times up the court. So it was just a style of play where I was able to just really expose people who couldn't compete with my energy. So I loved the style of play. I felt like it fit my style of play, and I got to play with some great players.
Where do you think that energy came from, and then being able to be that passionate on the court? Where did that come from?
I think for me personally, I think that I don't know if you can teach that, but I will say that I'm a 3rd generation athlete. My grandfather was a soccer player. My father was a tennis player. And I just remember being a kid and my father always taking me for runs in the morning, sometimes before school. And at the end of our run, when it was like 20, 25 minutes, we always finished with like a 200-meter sprint. And I think it taught me, and it gave me the education of just being okay, just being uncomfortable and training in that discomfort. I think that there's real growth in training in the red, and that's what my father taught me.
That's pretty awesome too, because he was a professional tennis player. I'm sure, you could have gone the tennis route, but him being a professional, seeing it all, he allowed you to go play basketball and, do your own thing. That probably helped you a lot too, right?
Yeah, I think my father was always very supportive. He was living in France, so had to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the games, but he was always my first call after games. And what I loved about my relationship with my father is, we had so many shared experiences. It wasn't telling me what to do. It was just, well, this is what happened to me, and this is what I went through. So I really cherished those times of being able to call my dad through the good and the bad. And, um, just I'm happy he wasn't my coach, but I'm happy he was definitely a father who was very supportive during my journey.
Well, Joakim, thank you so much for taking the time. You truly have been an inspiration to many people who are trying to follow in your footsteps, and enjoy the rest of the week in Paris. And thanks again for taking the time, man.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to our SBC Professional Series featuring Joakim Noah. We hope you enjoy learning about his journey and gained valuable insights on breaking into the sports industry. Like, subscribe, and please leave a review on social media. And tag us on your IG story at Sports Business Classroom. This episode is also brought to you by Hall Pass Media, a full-service marketing agency that specializes in brand consulting, event management, digital marketing, and creative design. For more information, go to hallpassnetwork.com. See you next time.